Mickey Meehan for UCCS Athletics. I'm here with head men's cross-country coach Mark Misch. Now, Coach, your team participated in the 2018 NCAA Division II National Championship meet. It was held at Bob O'Connor Golf Course at Shenley Park. This is after you guys finished 5th place at the South Central Regional meet. You ended up with a 12th place finish. Comments on the race?
Well, first of all, obviously, we're thrilled to have the opportunity to be there. And any time you're at the national championships, you're hoping for the best. And we were really fortunate all year to have a really healthy crew. All of our top guys, we were able to have pretty good momentum all year and able to accomplish the things that we had hoped for throughout to set us up to be in a position to do well on that day. And full credit to the guys. I mean, those guys were confident in the race plan, and they believed in the fitness level that we were at and how we were going to apply that to execute the plan on that course on that day under the conditions. And they did a great job. So, just super proud of them.
With that, you were led by Afwerki Zeru, who finished 43rd. He had a time of 33:36. Talk about his performance that day.
Yeah, so, if anybody was following online or the results, they had live results, and the course was a 2-kilometer loop, a little over 2K loop. And so they had chip mats, which is a timing system. About every half a lap, you could see where people were. They had a jumbotron with like the instant results going up and whatever. And if you look back, about half mile into the race from the position he was in until the finish, he passed 201 men, which is a pretty incredible feat to do in an NCAA championship of a field of that caliber. And he's a great racer. He learned a tough lesson at the RMAC meet, which I think really helped him a lot, especially going into regionals. And knowing that he races best when he's within himself early, not pushing early. He's a great distance runner, he's a natural long distance runner, so the farther we run, the better he is. But in order to capitalize on that, you've got to be pretty controlled at the beginning, stay anaerobic, and that really goes for most of our guys. And when they do that, they tend to race really, really well. And the way they executed the plan at nationals was really tremendous. I mean, it took a lot of discipline to race from being the very back end. I mean, literally, we were in 34th place at the 800 meters into the race, and to finish 12th. Those 7 guys combined past 994 places, and they were very close to 10th. I mean, we really weren't very far out of 10th place at all, which would have been pretty incredible. But yeah, the Affy ran great. Tim Halley's had a great season. I mean, 2 years in a row, that guy was all RMAC first team, all region. I mean, that's a great career. I mean, that's pretty incredible. He was our second man on the day. Sam Knopfziger and Willie Moore, also team captains, as well as Tim. Those 2 guys came through with great races as our 3rd and 4th guy. All year long, they've been our 3 and 4 guys, and literally never separated by more than a few seconds. And so just their consistency has been crucial to the success of the team. And then Mark Simmons had a really good race as our number 5 guy. He wasn't very far. He was maybe 15 spots back of those guys. Ben Patzer and Matt Schramm both ran really well as our 6 and 7 and the displacer spots, because if you look at the results, those guys would have been top 5 guys for over half the teams in the field with where they placed. So, it just shows why depth is so important in the sport and how every man counts. And if one of those guys had an off day, I think it probably wouldn't have affected us that much, because everybody was so close that we would have been able to pretty much maintain our position in the overall standing. So, again, they all did a great job. Nobody was any more than somebody else. I mean, they all did fulfilled the role they had and really made the best of the opportunity they were given on the day.
You brought up your team, and you actually had a cluster of a couple players finished from between 88th and 110th. Let's talk about the year in review. Comments on the season, what you're looking forward to next season, just overall thoughts.
There's a fantastic group of guys. I mean, they've worked extremely hard since last year at this time. We 3 off our regional team a year ago. Tim, Sam, and Willie were the only 3 guys off of that squad coming back. Affy, big rookie year for him. Ben Patzer and Mark Simmons, I mean, those guys weren't even alternates on our regional team a year ago. And those guys, put their nose to the grindstone last winter and spring and really elevated themselves to a different point, and then carried that through into the summer. And then their expectation in the fall, wanting to be part of something great. And Matt Schramm also was consistent all year and never out of our top 7. And so, I think those guys just as a whole, and not only them, but we got a lot of guys, Luke Rodriguez, Raphael, Marmalehi, Dihar, they were like our alternates there, and those guys, they ran the RMAC championships for us, and if they'd had to run in the lineup, we'd been fine as well. And then on beyond that, the whole team, but just the whole group, the whole roster, everybody we have is committed to seeing us be the best we could be, and that's an attitude. It's an expectation, but for every guy, it doesn't matter if they're in a uniform or not, and how they affect the team and everybody. And those guys are pretty close family. And we've been pretty fortunate. And over the years, the team has consistently been a good team. We compete in the best conference in the nation in our sport. And so I think sometimes they're a bit overshadowed, maybe, where they would maybe be seen as a team that's winning about half the conferences in the country. I say that. But pretty numbers speak for themselves, and so I think sometimes it takes a special person to be able to kind of know that they've got to pay their dues, and there's not going to be instant success. There's not going to be a ton of recognition, even though they're pretty good. But there's 275 programs in the country, and you're 12th. That's a pretty good day. I mean, you're better than whatever that is, 97% of the country. So. You got to be pretty good. You can't fake it in running. I mean, you don't get lucky in running. It's not, it's impossible. I mean, you get what you earn, and those guys earn every bit of their success all year long. So, from a coaching standpoint, I'm thrilled for them. I'm proud of them. They're great guys. They work their tails off, and I'm more proud of them as people than I am as runners. The way they carry themselves, the things they do. All those guys work part-time jobs. Those guys that work hard in the classroom. They train they're training hard in the dark, 6:30, 7 a.m. year round, doing whatever we got to do to be good. And so it was a great year, and we're going to enjoy it right now. Obviously the sun goes down and comes up the next day, and the next year comes around, and we're recruiting and everything. Those things don't ever stop, but at the same time, I think you got to enjoy what you've been a part of, and it's pretty special. So. We're going to do that right now. That's where we're at.
Well, Coach, want to give you a hats off for a good season to you and your team. Fans, thanks for tuning in, and go Mountain Lions.